Evening, we're all going out as a group. I hope everybody is ready for it. We're going up to the Grand Chalet, which is very nice. They do have a set menu, but if there's any vegetarians here or people that don't eat Emerson, which is a typical Swiss dish with roasted potatoes. They have a nice salad to start with, followed by that, and then a nice fruit salad, ice cream, warm dessert. So if that's agreeable with everybody, if there's anybody else that wants a fish or a pasta, put up your hand. Fish? No wonder you look so wonderful. Two people who look wonderful. 1, 2. Okay, 2 fish.
3 fish.
3 fish. She wants a fish too, huh?
Make it 4.
No wonder you're looking so well. Make it 4. Boy, you're missing out on roasting. Never mind. It's a barracuda out of the lake, so it should be good. Don't know how it got in there, but it's four fish. Really good. Okay, we all meet at 7:30 out the front, and the buses will take a couple of trips up and back, and so we'll start dinner at 8, and we'll be back in bed, pulling up the sheets just before 10.
Excellent. That's so late.
Is that too late for you?
A little, but I'll manage.
Well, you'll manage. Okay. Well, I'll get a little bed up there for you to relax.
My boyfriend's going to be yodeling and playing the organ.
Right. We're going to work on the serve this morning. So that's something that everybody needs a lot of because they don't spend a lot of time doing it. And you saw how successful Mueller was last night with his serve. He served rather well, and it's strange how left-handers can't play against each other very well because left-handers don't play against left-handers very often because there's not many of them around. And so it's a different spin that's coming in with them, and so sometimes they have a little awkward returning serve and so forth like that. But it's good to do a bit of work on your serve, because if you serve well, the rest of your game picks up. Grip you should be trying to use. I only know one player that used a forehand grip when he served. He didn't have a very good serve as it was, Boris Becker. He used a forehand grip when he served, but when he followed through, he finished here somehow. I don't know how he did it, but unusual, but very suitable for him. If you can get near a hammer grip or continental grip where the V is right in the center of your racket, you can play flat serves with that. You can play slice, and you can also kick the ball when you throw it behind your head a little bit. So it's pretty good for coming in to hit a first volley if you're serving and volleying. Again, stay loose with your hands. Pancho Gonzalez, who had one of the great serves in the amateur days, used to leave the butt way down on the racket here. The reason being that he was able to drop the racket down behind the head very well because he wasn't holding onto the racket so tight. A lot of you are so stiff with the arm and so tight with the grip that you get no drop of the racket, so you're hitting with a stiff arm, so that gives you no pace on your serve. So try and relax with your hands. I tried serving like Gonzalez, but I couldn't hit a first volley with the racket that far down. So to make sure I was loose enough on the take back and was able to get a good drop down behind the back, I experimented by holding on with the thumb and index finger and leaving these fingers dry out a little bit, get rid of the fungus. So on the take back, as I'm going back, I'm holding very lightly with the racket, and that makes sure that you're not all tense and tight. So once you separate your arms and going back with the swing, it'll fall back nicely down behind your back, and then as I was starting to bring it out, I would re-grip with the other 3 fingers so I wouldn't shatter my shins and hit the racket. So that helped me get a better drop. You might experiment a little bit yourselves on being a little looser with your grip. You can serve well just with 2 fingers because you've created enough racket head speed to get up to there, and that's all you're trying to find is a little bit of racket head speed. Now the worst part of everyone's serve is the toss. When you're chasing the ball all over the sky, you're going to have an erratic serve. So take a ball with you wherever you go and just learn how to do this nice and smoothly. So there's no flick, no wrist action. Once you get to about here, the ball's leaving your hand anyway. So all you do is open your fingers slightly, so it's no big sunflower, and follow through a little bit with your hand to get it up there. Don't toss it too high because you're turning your serve into an overhead smash. And also once the ball is dropping, it's heavier on your racket. So if you can ever manage hitting it on the way up, I prefer a higher toss than a too low a toss, but if you're strong enough to be able to put a bit of pace on a dead ball that's dropping, same with the ground strokes. When the ball's rising, it's alive, and you just don't have to swing much. When it's dropping, then it's a dead ball. Now you have to swing and put pace on that. So you wonder why Agassi got great pace on his strokes, because he played right next to the baseline, had a short swing, and took the ball on the rise all the time. And that's how he got pace. So think about that. Tossing the ball up, it should fall straight back into your hand. So work a lot on the toss, and we'll show you a few things to do to help that. So once you've got a good toss, try to learn to separate your arms when you're serving. If you don't need to start up here and come on down and then up again with the arm. So if you can just start from here and deliberately and very slowly turn your shoulders and let that racket go back. So by the time your tossing arm is here, pretty much your backswing is here with the racket closed. You don't want to be opening up the racket on the take back. So separate, and then it's just a matter of you letting it fall down and then reaching up as high as you can so you got good extension and letting the head go where you want the ball. Or use your hands up here so you're not stiff here. Relax, keep that wrist supple and not too tight. This is the important part of the serve, from here through. This is just to get racket head speed up to there, and hopefully a little bit of body weight, back foot, front foot. Not a big swaying of the body because that makes it difficult for your toss. But keep your head and shoulders up as you're hitting the ball and say to yourself, idiot, let the racket do the work. And keep your head up there. I always mention Billie Jean King. She had a way of warming up to remind herself to watch the ball. when she was hitting ground strokes, she'd get the racket back early and look back as she's hitting the ball to guarantee she's not having a look and lifting up with the stroke. Same on the forehand. Back early, look back. Volleys, look back. Again, that's how she warmed up. Overhead, she'd look back. Just to remind, don't pull your hand down and look where you're hitting it, because you're going to hit frame. Frame. Watch the ball. That'll help you there, Kevin. And many a time they brought the truck around to cart Billie Jean away when they saw her warm up. They thought something was wrong with her. But that was her way of warming up, to remind herself, watch the ball. Same with this. Keep your head up. Head up. Let the racket do the work. And the looser you are, the better. Now this helped me. I had a pretty lousy serve, so I had to concentrate on everything I did. Taking this as the baseline, this is where you should be tossing for the flat and the slice, and the kick is over behind your head a little bit because you're hitting up on that. But I'd bounce the ball, and that helped me to think about where I was tossing the ball, first and second serve. And that, if I hit the first serve into the net, I'd correct myself by saying, idiot, don't pull down on that serve. Stay up there with your head and shoulders, and that would get the second serve in. As you separate your arms, you say, go back slow. If this is fast and have nothing coming out behind your head, you're way out of timing. So do this slow and deliberate, and then you increase the pace as you bring it out from behind your back. Increase that pace. So talk your way through the serve, separate, and then I'd say at this stage, drop it in and keep your head up, let the racket do the work. And you'll find that that will help you if you concentrate on it and think about it. All of you, I'm sure, just walk up and serve and don't think about where you're supposed to toss the ball. Always in front, so you can go after it a little bit, whether you're staying back or going to the net. You should be falling into the net, into the court a little bit, so you're not hitting here with arms. So we'll do a bit of work on the serve. Lucinda, come and show them your perfect action. I get Lucinda out because Lucinda is not fortunate to be the tallest girl in the world, but she has a great action and a good serve. Now I get the tall streak of misery out, Michelle. Tall streak of misery, come on.
Tall streak of misery.
They have very smooth actions. And don't look to see where the ball's going, they're all going in the court. Look how high they toss the ball, what the tossing arm looks like. You'll notice they're not tossing too high. And everything is nice and smooth. This is the best department of both of these two players. You think so, Larry? So you notice they're not warming up, not hitting too hard, and they're really concentrating on keeping their head and shoulders up as they're hitting the ball. Now, as you notice, no balls have been hit into the net yet. So all the tennis clubs love people like this because they don't have to repair the net every year. They're staying up well and not pulling down on the front side. Right, do a flat serve each where the racket hit meeting flat. That gets extra pace because not putting spin on it. Now the slice. So it's in the same spot pretty much. Different face. Coming in to meet it. Boy, this is the best history I've ever seen. What did you have for breakfast? Banana. Okay, we'll all race and get a bunch. Good, right, the kick serve. Now they're tossing it slightly behind their head, so they have to hit up onto that. And that, as long as you run the racket through fairly quickly at that stage, Michael, go through here quicker to put the spin on, hitting up. Up, up. If you don't put enough spin and run the head through quickly there, you won't get it in the court. So that creates the spin. It's a bit harder on your body. Okay, good, that'll do, great. Thanks. Not one ball into the net, that's fantastic. Did any of them go in the box? Maybe. Okay, we're having a group photo for you all to show your friends.